Hello, hello. As promised, we are into our second episode of Life as It Should Be. So, over the last 1 week, I had received multiple feedback on the first video that I had uploaded. Some of the feedback wanted me to be more professional, buy a mic, and all that stuff. So I politely accept all those feedback, but I wanted to keep this podcast as real as possible, as closer to life as possible. So this podcast, till at least some point of time, would try to remain as close as life should be. Yeah. And amongst the topics to be discussed, as expected, not surprisingly, most of you try to reach out to me on habits, goals, fitness, uh, obesity. Many people really wanted to lose tens of kilos or pounds from their body, right? So, yeah, weight loss is something I will cover dedicatedly in one of the podcasts, but this episode I would want to focus on goals, right? I have been someone, and you know me, I have been someone who have set their goals every year, personal, professional, whatever, and either I achieve it or I learn something out of them. But there has always been goals around what I would want to achieve. So, and over the period of time, I've also learned about goals, right? And that's what I wanted to share in this particular episode. So, why is it that people want to have goals around their lives? Why we could just not remain goalless and see what happens, right? So that's exactly where humans are different from animals. Animals per se are more programmed, if you may. They have a fixed goal in their life, or a set of two or three, four goals, and that's how their entire life revolves around. Some and trees and plants are programmed in such a way that while they do feel emotions, animals included, right? But self-thinking, self-setting of goals, various goals, is not something we very commonly see in trees or animals. It's as of now known universe limited to us humans, right? So, and what is the goal, right? If you I mean, what is the intent behind setting up a goal? The intent behind setting up a goal, I have read multiple books, tried to find out, you know, and I realize what is told in, for example, a Bhagavad Gita is true about goals, right? The first goal uh, is about ourselves. We want to make present the best version of ourselves to the world. We want to be the most happiest, most wealthiest, and all. So that's the first primary goal towards which we look to make the life the best possible way. And some of the people would try to live as long as possible and in the best forms of their life, right? When this goal is more or less fulfilled, then the next goal or the intent of life is towards the family, beyond that towards the society, beyond that towards the country, towards the world, towards the universe, and towards the God. So you do not have to believe for the end to end intent of what I just said. You believe only till the point your belief system allows you, right? Most of us, we try to bring about the best versions of ourselves along with supporting the family and doing it for the society. That's all and good, because at any point of time there are 15 to 20% of people who are not able to do that as well, right? So yeah, some of the people who asked me are more comfortable in Hindi, so when I come to the action points, I will have one or two sentences in Hindi as well for their comfort, but it will be covered in English as well, right? So that's why goals are there. That's why all the way from inventing the fire or discovering the fire to discovering the wheel to all the way where we are today and where we'll be in the future, right? It's about taking the mankind to the next step. right? Yeah, so that's what goals are for. And that's why we all have goals, and we should have goals, because it's not comparing with anybody else. It's my tomorrow to be better than my today. That should be the goal of every human being, every organization, every country. Not comparing with anybody else. You don't want to become an America tomorrow, and believe me, most of the countries would not want to be America tomorrow. But yeah, if you have a particular country in mind that you want to see your country being there, don't be, because you don't know what that country's tomorrow is. Yeah, so your tomorrow should be better than your today. Your society's tomorrow should be better than what's it today. Your country should be better than, and together as a humanity we should be better than what we are today. So we know now why we need goals, right? The next is, why are we not able to meet our goals more often than not, right? I personally believe, and that's my opinion, you may have different feedback, and I would love to see your comments on this. But why do we more often than not fail to meet our goals? I believe that we do not is because we do not very clearly know the intent why we want to meet that goal, whatever goal we have set. We go to some extent, but we do not go end to end, which means the absolute intent of why you want to reach that goal is not clear to you at that moment. And the initial pang or the reason why you wanted to have that goal could have come out of fear, greed, any other factor outside of benevolent reason why it should have come for, and you do not know actually what is the end goal. तो गोल में सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पोर्टेंट ये है सबसे पहले कि आप अपने आप को उस गोल को अचीव करने के बाद कहाँ देखते हैं और वहाँ पे क्यों देखना चाहते हैं. मेक इट वेरी क्लियर, right? So for example, somebody says, I want to lose weight. Why do you want to lose weight? It would have come out of a fear of you falling sick because of obesity. You might want to plan for kids, because of which you want to lose weight, because people said obesity could be a risk during pregnancy. So define your goal and take it to the end state till the point where you really know why you want to achieve it. Yeah. And if that goal benefits more than yourself, that would be an added advantage. So one is that. So please be very, very clear why you want to have that goal, right? Second is fast food society, right? I keep telling everybody, we have transformed into a fast food society. Nobody has an attention span more than 40 characters, more than 50 seconds and all. So that's what I will be very conscious to not extend any of my podcast episodes beyond a particular time that you guys wanted. So whoever had reached out of me, unfortunately they want to remain anonymous, but for obvious reasons, because nobody is very proud of their obesity and about failing goals again and again. So I relate to them, समझ में आता है मेरे को, right? But you said you wanted a 20-minute episode. I would try to cover it up in less than that 20 minutes, but yeah, 20 minutes is what this episode will be. So we understood why we have goals, why most of the goals fail, right? And third is, what should I do to make sure that the goals are more or less, more often than not, achieved? So for that, what you need to do is manifesting. Manifesting is very important, so that mentally you are already there. Unless you firmly believe you will be able to reach your goal, नहीं होगा भाई. ठीक है, तो सबसे पहले जो भी अचीव करना चाहते हो, सोच लो कि वो तुम्हारे पास ऑलरेडी है. कैसे मदद करती है इस बात की टेंशन मत लो, पर ऑलवेज बिहेव एज इफ यू हैव अचीव दैट. At least your own mind is not fighting against you, or you no need to fight against your own mind. Yeah. So that's one way to make sure you achieve your goal. Second is to convert that into a lifestyle. अगर if you believe that you will become slim, you will become slim, and then what? Because we do not have answer to that. So before you start, it's very, very clear, you should be very, very clear that I need to achieve this goal. I need to, and mentally you start thinking that you have already achieved that goal. See, that's how life should be. Burping while talking. I'm not gonna edit this out. Okay, so yeah, and what do you do? Most importantly, what do you do after you have achieved that goal? Yeah, I want to invest in stocks and I want to see 10% profit, 20% profit, but most of the time we don't know what you will do with that money. So that's the reason why most of us do not succeed. Every goal, every must convert into a habit, must convert into a lifestyle, must be beneficial at least to you and in a continuum, should not have an abrupt stop. Yeah. So why do we have goals? Because that's how we have been built. We think, we always strive for better. And what should be your goal? Anything which makes your tomorrow, the societies tomorrow, countries tomorrow, universities tomorrow, humanities tomorrow, or achieving towards God better than what it is today. Yeah. Always manifest that you have already achieved your goal. Always make sure you know what needs to be achieved and what do you do after you have achieved that goal. And your goal would always be related to one of these material things, or maybe a realization of God is also an absolute goal, right? So come out of the fast food society. Do not assume that you will be able to achieve it in next 5 days, next 1 month, next 6 months. You don't know, right? So try to find out examples. You can use AI, you can search for Google if you're still using Google. Yeah, so find out how much time the really people who became successful in achieving that goal took. You will be surprised. Or if I say that, always compare with yourself, check your tomorrow should be better than today. That's what is the goal, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, there would be some point in your life when you were weighing that much before you are weighing what you're weighing now. Yeah. So suppose you wanted to become 55 and today you are 85. Just think about what point of time in your youth or during teenage or even when you're a kid, if that's how long it has been, is to when you were 55. If possible, pull out the photos when you were 55 kgs. Yeah, look at them. That will reinforce in your mind that there was a time when you weighed 55 and there will definitely be a time when you can still weigh back. अगर पहले किए थे तो अभी भी कर सकते हैं. Keep those photos handy where you can see them. It was you who used to weigh that, not anybody else. Right? And then in the earliest memory when you were weighing 55 and now you're weighing 88, how many years have it passed? Is it 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20, and you want to go back there in 1 month? Is that even a practical goal that you're setting up for yourself? Yeah. Go back to AI, go back to Google, ask what is the safe boundary within which I can lose my weight so that I can reach my target goal by then and then. Let them tell you how much time it takes. Yeah. Safely you might be able to lose a kilo. Aggressively you might be able to lose 2 kilos. And if you have to lose 30 kilos, then give yourself a year at best. In the worst case, anything more exaggerated than that, we don't know what happens. And then we need to keep it real, life as it should be. There will be times when you will go for parties, when there will be functions at your home, somebody's birthday, you can't say no. You will have to indulge once in a while, which might cause a minor blip or slippage if you continue to do that, and we are humans, we do slip. Yeah, you should have the ability to forgive yourself and then move on with the goal in mind. So don't look at losing 20 kgs in 2 months. Anybody who says I can get you 12 kgs leaner in a month is bluffing. I have seen multiple YouTube videos on that. There's this lady in India who claims she can get you to lose 12 kgs while you are still feeding on your favorite food. Do not go there. Yeah, there has been a mistake. It could be hormonal, not under your control. It might be because of your own mistakes where you have indulged yourself in food for a very long time. It could be alcohol, whatever it is, and you are as fat as you are now. Yeah, it's not wrong to say fat. Say yourself fat. That's fine, completely fine. Yeah, and then you want to come down. I'm absolutely fine with people who are fat and do not want to lose weight. I don't see that as bad. But if you want to lose your fats, come down and become slim, then that's your goal. If your goal, that goal has to be practical as well. Do not be 85 and pretend that you will be 55 in 2 months. Sorry. If that comes down that fast, it will come up even and cross 85 next time. So do something that's practical and realistic, so that you love yourself when you're going down. And I will anyway cover one more episode down the line on obesity. I'll cover what are those shockers you will get while you're losing weight. Yeah, I've been losing myself, but it's a very baseline plan that I follow. I do not do any extremes. And final part of the goal is whatever you are trying to achieve, there's somebody who has already achieved it in the circle that you know, either your friend or your acquaintance, or even some far off cousin which you have not spoken for donkey years. Yeah, so if you want to have a straight cut lean body, just think through who are your friends in that. When I started this journey last year sometime around June, and it took me all the way till November to stabilize, and from November to continuously pursue this as a goal for myself, I looked around myself, and yeah, I had Saurabh as my friend, who was the epitome of fitness in where I work, and more importantly, he was keen to help. Yeah, he gave a lot of directions. So find out who is always there, or already there, sorry. Find out who's already there, who you want to be, and speak to them. They will give you real life advices, because they are already there and they have been doing that for a period of time. Yeah, and the fact that you are average of 5 people you spend time with is not a lie. That's a truth. So I mostly started spending time around people who really take their health very seriously, who have their proper diet, have their proper workout planned out, eat a proper food outside of, and indulge once in a while like we always do, right? So this has been a good journey so far, and no matter what goals you pursue, I wish you really, really all the best. Yeah. So till we meet next time, keep the faith, and I will try to keep it as real as a life should be. And do not read personality development books end to end in a single session. I have been telling this to many of my friends, and I am telling this through this podcast as well. Whenever you pick up how-to books, take that as a manual for improvement. Read a chapter, reflect, see if there are any actions out of it, and then do it. आखिरी में हमें गोल क्यों रखना चाहिए? हम अपने आप को आज से बेहतर बनाना चाहते हैं, है ना? और कोई भी गोल इममटीरियल चाहे कुछ भी हो, ऐसा रखो जो तुम हासिल कर सको. 2 दिन में कुछ नहीं बदलता. ये ट्विटर, इंस्टाग्राम और फेसबुक नहीं है, ये ज़िंदगी है भाई. जितने साल तुम्हें लगे हैं इस वेट को गेन करने में, उतना ही समय लगे ये ज़रूरी नहीं है, पर ऐसा भी नहीं है कि उतने दिनों में तुम कम हो जाओ। जो भी तुम बनना चाहते हो, अगर उसकी कोई तुम्हारी पुरानी तस्वीर है, उसको रखो, उसको बार बार देखो, ये तुम ही थे जो तुम थे, तो तुम वापस बन सकते हो, असंभव नहीं है। और ये आसान बना देगा जब तुम खुद अपनी ही तस्वीर देखा करो कि तुम क्या थे। और मैं तुम्हें जानता हूँ, तुम 15 साल पहले थे, तो तुम्हारे पास बहुत सारी तस्वीरें होंगी, ना होंगी तुम मुझे बताना, मैं देता हूँ तुमको। ठीक है, किसी ऐसे दोस्तों के साथ घूमो जो पहले से वो कर चुके हैं जो तुम करना चाहते हो, या अभी भी शायद आइडियल वेट में है या रेगुलरली जिम जाते हैं, उनके साथ जाओ, उनसे पूछो कि क्या सीखना है, उनका प्रभाव तुम पर पड़ेगा। अच्छा करना, राइट? टिल वी मीट नेक्स्ट टाइम, रियली गाइस, टेक केयर, कीप द फेथ।